are just a week away from wrapping up winter, and I can't say that I'm too sad about it because I'm so excited for spring, but I am sad because I love this color palette and it's been so fun creating all of these different pieces within this mood board, the winter mood board. And today what I'm going to be sharing with you is a project that I worked on in collaboration with Maddie, Laidig Designs, and I am obsessed with what she created. Maddie works with a lot of different paper goods, from wedding invitations to stationery to business cards. She used basically the whole gamut, and what we did was we created a suite to style, and she based the suite off of the winter mood board, and I received the suite and was able to, what I call, play around with it in all of these different flat lays that you are about to see. The best part about Maddie designing the suite off of the winter mood board was that everything revolved around a similar feel, a similar mood, and a similar look. And that's how I approach styling and designing for different pieces of content. I am looking for cohesion and consistency across the board, and so I want whatever I'm styling to then evoke those same feelings. And again, when I think through textures and different props that I want to include, this is where it all starts. After the jumping off point, which is the mood, the feel, and the look, I then start choosing different props. And again, I based all of my props off of the winter mood board, again, in order to create cohesion. And first, what I focus on in the actual styling of the flat lays is I try and make sure everything is appealing to the eye. Now, some of this is just based off of intuition. However, there are different rules that come into play when it comes to things appealing to the eye. So for example, one of the pieces is that you can arrange your flat lays in different patterns. So you could use the alphabet, for example, the letter Z or the letter C, in order to create a pattern with your flat lay. And those types are ones that your eye recognizes, but then it helps give a general flow and outline to the beginning of your flat lay. Another piece that I focus on is color. So one thing about this suite is Maddie included different pictures or patterns, and so I want to make sure that the color is flowing evenly throughout the flat lay in order for your eye to not stay stagnant in one spot, but continue on through the whole flat lay. Layering and bringing in dimension are two pieces or components when styling flat lays or styling in general that are really important. These can help your images or your styling not fall completely flat. So having things that are either thicker or having pieces lay on top of each other, or I like to use acrylic blocks that I can put under different pieces in order to raise them and bring in that dimension. If I have two bigger props, I am going to try and either put them on opposite sides of the flat lay and then have the other smaller props kind of sprinkled out throughout. And a lot of times, one thing that I want to make sure that I remember is that for eye appeal, you want items that are in odd numbers. So 1 or 3 looks better than only having 2 items. And so that is a rule of thumb that I really like to follow when including props especially. Lines are incredibly important when it comes to styling flat lays. You have to pay attention to them because there are times when something looks straight and then you get it back and you're editing the image and it looks very crooked. So there are 2 types where I pay attention to lines. One is where I want to create more movement within a flat lay, and so I arrange papers in order to create the movement. Maybe I angle them up or angle them down, or I crisscross them against each other. And then the other is where I want to make sure that all of my lines are very straight and I'm balancing the distance that are separating them. So in this, I am making sure that I have very straight angles and everything is very orderly and structured rather than having movement and flow throughout the flat lay. This was such a fun week for me for a year of styling. I love styling flat lays. I have a big spot for it in my heart, and I also really love working with my dear friend Maddie Laidig. I would love for you to check her out for any of your paper good needs. I will link all of her info below in the information box for this video. And also, if you are struggling with your flat lay styling, you can go check out my blog. I have broken this video down and also created a layout guide and a freebie that talks about how I first approach a flat lay. So it's two parts. So again, the first part is how I approach a flat lay, which is a freebie. But then also in my shop, I am selling a layout guide that you can have and print out and take with you, whether at home, if you're styling your own paper goods that you're creating, or take it with you to, for example, a wedding where you are styling the paper goods and all of the wedding details. I hope this was helpful. Feel free to subscribe and again, go over to the blog and don't miss all the goodies that I have for you there.